that involved the biggest can of soda pop I have ever seen, let alone could imagine. I didn't know they came that big. Cans. And it was in like, to go bag, freezer, tight, clear, large. And so I witnessed that transaction. And it was particularly remarkable because I was a huge fan of that band, hence my being in proximity of that band, all of which is going to be in my second book, which is going to be double size. So it'll be over 100 pages. Can't do much more than that. That's how I write, like little novellas, each chapter being standalones, so you don't have to follow this chronology of Liz Taylor's life and have all kinds of bookmarkers and everything. Okay, number 5, trying to keep it brief this evening, is involving, again, a hugely famous Hollywood talent manager, not agent. It was his own operation. And his offices were, let's just say, near Doheny and Sunset Boulevard. And, God, I want to say his name. So again, hugely, in terms of clientele, not in terms of like, oh, he's like hitting the trades. And his clientele was, oddly enough, almost exclusively male. I would say like 90% of his clients were male clients. Young male clients, let's say under 40, under 30. And it was odd because it was like that was his clientele, right? I knew because I had seen other people that he managed on auditions. That was the weird thing about auditions, is that we worked with a clipboard and a pencil. So every time you put in your last 4 numbers, your social, whatever, you actually put your whole social, I think. I think you did. What I saw, though, his clients, and also, to be honest with you, this famous manager managed an actor of my age who I later was in For Keeps with. I was a featured character friend. He was a more featured character friend. He was a client of this manager, as you see other, whatever. And he came up to me, having seen that I had written XX as my manager, because you put who sent you on the audition, your agent, your manager, whatever. They all want 15% anyway. What's the difference? Which is an accurate 30%. This actor came up to me, I don't want to say like in a panic, but kind of like if you recognize somebody from high school and really needed a taxi for whatever, and came up to me and noted that we had the same manager. I didn't have him very long because he was vile. I mean, aside from what I'm going to tell you, he was just so snarky and inappropriate in a gay way. And this actor came up to me and literally, like, I would say the second sentence out of his mouth was about this manager who he knew we had shared. And he proceeded to tell me how uncomfortable he was with this new talent manager because he wasn't a newbie, and he didn't do it, but he had been asked it outright by this manager and had also, how did he know other people did it? It was sort of kind of felt like a prerequisite, or like, that they get together at his house and wrestle. I'm not saying baby oil, I'm not saying what they're wearing, but his whole thing was having a wrestling match with his clients at his home, which is disgusting. But not as disgusting as other things, so I guess, whatever, lesser of 2 evils, or I really am speechless. So, sort of a brief show today. This is only 5. I've maybe got 50. I'm trickling them out as per. I'm working around what's going to be in what is starting to flesh out of my next book, because I don't want to obviously tell you stories that are going to be in the book. But why don't we either tomorrow or the next? I have like a couple stories. A fun one about West Hollywood, again, big kind of famous-y thing. And then one thing about Adnan Khashoggi, who's like a famous billionaire, something connected to him and a lot of other things. So there's lots of blind items, like I said, in this weird kind of perverse way. I hope some of them weren't very blind. I mean, I'm saying like sunset and Darhini and things. So, okay, I'm gonna let you go. And it's Christmas Eve for those who observe. So maybe you'll pop on this video and be entertained with sort of a bombastic taste of what Sean can do. So, like I said, if you observe, if not, and it is a holiday season for many, so I don't know what the other was, with beginning, middle, or end, or whatever, but like I said, be good to yourself, and be very good to those you care about. I'm not saying not be good to the others, but maybe apathetic. I'm kidding. I love you. See you tomorrow. Bye.